Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Virtual Flight Diaries. In this episode, we are in the Just Flight Avro RJ85. And we're going to take her down from Jackson Hole down to Denver. Now, I know all over the stream title, I had that we will be flying on Vatsim today. But unfortunately, my V-Pilot isn't working right. So we switched over to Beyond ATC just to check it out. I want to check out some updates and see how it runs, see the improvements. And I thought it might be a good alternative to running Vatsim. Till I figure out why my V-Pilot won't work. I think there's a conflict somewhere, but I was already running late with the stream, and I wanted to get going. So we are Gate 5 at Jackson Hole, and let's get loaded up. So I've already imported my SimBrief flight plan into the system. If you want, I did post a video on how to get this thing fired up from cold and dark to engine start using my modified flow based on the manual. And I have to make some adjustments, but I think it works great. And you can see in the video that we were able to get everything fired up. So let's first things first, let's get some fuel. So hopefully, fingers crossed, GSX is working.
Refueling truck is on its way. Please don't load aircraft until the fuel truck arrives and ask to do it.
So my sounds are all messed up. I don't know why. I will one day become a professional streamer and we will be all ready to go. And everything will be working. But today is not that day, but we'll get through it. We'll have some fun. This plane is, I want to say right now, one of the most amazing planes in the sim. It is just so much fun to fly, and I can't get enough of it. I've been flying it constantly. I'm still trying to figure out the
Please don't load aircraft until the fuel truck arrives and ask to do it.
The landing. My landings aren't the greatest right now because there's just a little. I'm still trying to figure out. There's a nuance with the air brake that you have to use it during landing, and I haven't quite gotten it yet. I mean, my landings aren't horrible, but they have room for improvement. Start refueling there. Taking 72 passengers down to Denver. It is clear. The scenery is beautiful. I love this flight. I did it with a virtual airline that I belong to. I was a constant trip from Jackson Hole down to Reno. It was loads of fun, and the scenery in Microsoft Flight Simulator for the Rocky Mountains is very cool. Hey Samuel, welcome to the chat. So what does the cabin look like? You know what? Why don't we power up and we'll go take a look. So let's do our cockpit thing, gear down, Radar on standby, 15% up. Transponder on standby. And nav light can come on. Battery 1 and 2 come on. Get hooked up to ground power and see galley. And ground power. Samuel, I remember flying in that plane in real life. Oh, that is awesome. I unfortunately never had the opportunity to look at it in real life. And I think that is incredible that you were able to. All right, so we are flying in Northwest livery, but I don't think it's modeled in the Northwest interior. But it has that nice vinyl look to it. I remember the old US Air 737 had. So the cabin is pretty cool. One of my favorite things is get some coffee brewing. For some reason I'm fascinated by this working coffee pot and the cabin music, the boarding music. They have that, it's modeled pretty cool. So you could turn on the lights. I believe the phone actually does some stuff. You can turn on the PA, intercoms. I don't know if it does anything, but it's just it's pretty cool. Take a walk down the cabin. So none of the so it's not like the iFly, none of the baggage compartments work. I think we're in the yes, we are. We're in the 85, so that was 112 passengers max, I think. And with a 6 across configuration. So I actually haven't really gone through the cabin, so I don't know. Oh wow, cool. This is a little nuances, like the counter light works. That's pretty wild. I can't go in the bathroom. I'd love to see if that does anything. We'll do that in flight. Open that up, prepare for boarding. We'll come back here during the flight. Although it's a pretty short flight, we should have time to check it out. Shane, welcome to the channel. Welcome to the stream. All right, so we're gonna get this up, fired up. So we're on ground power. Fueling should be almost done. Let's request boarding. Some passengers on board. And we'll go down our checklist. So, after we turn on the battery power, just double check that the parking brake is set and that we're on the yellow. And should I see that the first officer is a woman? Is that your wife? No. Alright, so turn on the yaw dampeners. Next we go down here. So ignition. A and B, they rarely had it on both. So for normal operations, A and B is done on odd and even days. So today is the 11th, so we will be doing an A ignition start. They're all on. A ignition. Anti-skid can come on, and the lift spoilers, yellow and green, can come on. And then we want to come down to the electronics panel and we look at the bus ties. That is auto. So what is the difference between an A and B ignition start? That's a good question. So each engine had two igniters. This is just igniter 1 and igniter 2, and you could start the engine using either one. So what they would do is the crews, depending on the day, whether it was an odd or even day, they would pick one igniter over the other just to keep the wear and tear even. I haven't quite found out why you would use both. My guess, if I had to make a guess, would be that like on inclement weather or cold weather start, you would use both igniters. Alright, so check that the bus ties are on auto and that the standby inverter and standby generator are armed. And then we turn on the APU gen. We have the galley power already in. And we'll check our refueling. Almost done. We're going to just wait till the fuel truck is finished.
Good afternoon.
And we will fire up the APU.
Good afternoon. Welcome on board. Boarding pass, please. This way.
That could also be a good reason. You would use both igniters.
This way.
All right. So refueling is complete. Boarding is started. So we have our APU gen on, and we are going to start the APU. Open up the cargo doors. GSX doesn't want to do it. That's okay. So 4 seconds after it reaches max RPM, we get APU ground power. Since we're on the gen already, it automatically transferred. You see it automatically shut off the external power, so we can remove that cart and don't have to worry about that. One thing I did skip unfortunately, is we were supposed to check the fire bell to see if that worked. But that's okay, we'll do the tests now. Alright, so fire detectors. Just like the ignition, A and B. Odd days we would use loop A, even days we'd use loop B. That was just to even out the wear and tear also. So we just make sure that they are all in A, and that is correct. So to APU fire bell. And see, I'm see what happens when you skip steps? So because I didn't have fuel, the APU shut off. Smoke detectors. Okay. Now, restart. This model is very high fidelity. If systems aren't working in the right capacity, they don't work. And if so, APU started with just the fuel that was in the lines, and since I didn't have the pump on, it died. So we're going to slow down just a little bit here, just to make sure we don't skip a step. All right, we're back on power. All right, fire test. We're going to conduct our engine fire test. That all works. There's no smoking, go to auto, and emergency cabin armed. APU power is on, so APU air can come on, and we only need one pack for the APU air. And just like everything else, odd even, it's the 11th, so we're going to use pack 1. Shape testing you're going to die alarms. No, they're actually not that you're going to die alarms, but hey, you need to fix this so we don't die. Alright, and we'll get the flight deck and cabin fans on. So damage is systems damage and failure is modeled. I have it set to realistic, so we're going to try to not break the plane. And I haven't yet. Alright, so that's the APU and ground tests done. So now we can come down here to our, just continuing with our flow. Uncage our attitude indicator. Go across, come down. We'll reset the fuel used. And we will start the IRS alignment. Get our FMSC going. We're going to get our flight plan in. So like there is a way to load a saved flight plan. And hang on a second. Route. Just trying to see if I remember where that is. Oh, okay, that's right. So go to the menu, FMC, index page. You could load flight plans in, and the way that is, there's a work folder in the community folder, and that you can download your SimBrief flight plan, which is a .rte file, into that, and then you can draw it from there. I don't think I have... I do have this flight plan in. Let's check that out. Yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, so we're at the Alpine 4 departure, KICNE transition, and then direct TOFUU. So that's, let's just double check our legs. So there you go, guys. You can see how that works. And that actually worked perfectly. So this is actually the first time I'm using this function. So we'll activate that flight plan. And then we can go to our perf init. And then once we're loaded up, we can set that up. So we're going to be going to flight level 310 today. So we can start loading that in. And we got 12.1 in the fuel. No, unfortunately, I couldn't get my vPilot to work. So I'm actually connected to Beyond ATC. So as soon as we get the FMC loaded in, we'll get our ATIS, and we'll get going with that. So we do have Beyond ATC's live traffic. So I thought that would be a cool alternative. All right, 12.1. Beyond ATC is like say intentions. It's a AI traffic service for ATC. There's two of them out there that are on the pretty much the top of the game right now. It's Beyond ATC and Say Intentions. I have both. I haven't used Beyond ATC in a while, and I thought it would be nice to take a look at it and see it after it's had a couple updates. All right, our zero fuel is 71.1. So we'll just put that in there. 83.2 gross weight, right on the money. And I'll check my flight plan here and we'll see what our reserve is. And we're looking at a reserve of 3.3. I'm gonna say I wish Flight Gear had this stuff for ATC. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what it would take to implement something like this in Flight Gear. All right, so perf init's loaded. We'll execute that. Our box is good to go. So what we're going to do here is turn on our EFISes. It's next in our flow, and then we will switch over to nav. Finish up the IRS alignment. All right, so I want to make sure that I have gotten everything. So IRS is start alignment, FMC is programmed, EFIS is on, IRS is to nav, flight directors 1 and 2 can now come on. Mine will be master, first officers will be slave. MCP setup. So now's a good time, we can check out our ATIS.
departing runway 19er. Advise on initial contact. You have information, Sierra. Jackson Hole Airport information, Sierra. 2151 Zulu. Wind 145 at 4. Visibility 10. Sky condition clear. Temperature 04. Dew point -05. Altimeter 2981. Landing and departing runway 19er. Advise on initial contact. You have information, Sierra.
We have Sierra. Turn on ground. And we'll see for our initial altitude so we can program our MCP. Jackson ground, Northwest 676 with information Sierra. Request our IFR to Denver.
Northwest 676, Jackson ground. Thanks for information, Sierra. Cleared to Denver, Alpine 4 departure, KICNE transition, then as filed, climb via SID, except maintain 15,000. Departure frequency 133.25, squawk 3716.
Cleared to Denver, Alpine 4 departure, KICNE transition, then as filed, climb maintain SID, climb the SID, except maintain 15,000, departure on frequency on 133.25, squawk 3716, Northwest 676.
Northwest 676, read back correct. Call me back when ready for pushback or engine start.
So Shane says the next release is scheduled next month. Cool. Yeah, I took a look at that flight gear, but unfortunately I have been spoiled with these simulators. And
Northwest 676, read back correct. Call me back when ready for pushback or engine start.
yeah, we'll call you when we're ready for pushback and engine start, Northwest 676. Yeah, so unfortunately, I've been kind of spoiled with this flight simulator, and with Flight Sim 2024 coming out. I didn't load it in the system. So we got a squawk code of 3716. Yes, I read all that. NASA was using it, I believe. X-Plane has also been used in a lot of professional simulators. Alright, 3716 in the box. And so MCP is set, altimeter is set, oxygen is checked. We'll check our oxygen here, right here. That's working. Fuel used has been reset. No smoking sign is on auto. Cabin emergency is armed. Emergency lights can go on to arm. We'll do that right here. And then we go up here and turn on the DC pump. Take note that the brake pressure has pressurized in the yellow line. Once that happens, we shut that off. Turn on the AC pump to on. Check pressure. That goes off. And we turn the PTU pump on. And we check pressure, and that is off. Or, yes, that goes off. Alright, hydraulics have been checked. So we are ready for our before start flow. So we'll set our landing altitude, and Denver is 52 and some change, so we're going to set our landing altitude to 53. Let me just double check that. because we don't want to get our, it's auto pressure, but there's just a little bit of manual input you got to use. 5435 actually, so we are going to go to 55. Round that up. Good thing to check. All right, pressurization set. Standby attitude is uncaged. TCAS test.
TCAS test. TCAS test. Pass.
TCAS passed. We'll do the illumination bit test.
Wind shear, wind shear, wind shear.
That passes. And we're going to confirm that the hydraulic pumps are off. They are. And then we are going to turn on our ice detection. Fasten seatbelt sign could go on, because I believe we are boarded. Yep, everybody's on board. So we'll close the doors. Turn the hydraulic pumps off for startup.
Cabin crew, arm doors and cross-check.
Flight attendants doing their flight attendant things. Alright, so we'll do a brake test. Lights work. It is post 9/11, so we will close our door and secure it. And we'll get some mood lighting in. Said Chinese Air Force has been building stuff using flight gear. Interesting. Okay, ice to fast seatbelt signs. Fuel quantity is checked. We're 12.1 on board, 12.1 required. And we will set our TRPs. So the quick reference way to do that is just click this. That'll set our TRPs. We're going to do a toga takeoff. And our flaps retraction speed is 177, so we're going to put that in the box or in the NCP. And that sun glare is crazy. Get over here so I can see the
All
altitude.
aircraft be advised, information tango now current. Altimeter 2981.
So information tango is now current. We'll need that for taxi. So it only winds up in hundreds. There's no way to go thousands. That's what I missed with the Airbus, but this is a Boeing retro panel, so we can only get the hundreds. And 15,000 is our initial climb out. That's set, and our runway heading is 190. Reset my view. All right, MCP panel is set. So next we'll go with our engine start flow, and we can get pushed back and fired up. So cockpit door is closed and locked. Fuel pumps can't come on. Beacon light on. APU air can come off. We'll wait for startup for that. Engine anti-ices come on for startup. Start power to normal. And then we rotate the start selector to 4. Standby on the... Oh, we could turn the start master on actually. And we are ready for startup. So, let's kill the packs. Kill the air. So now the full power of the APU is set for engine startup. So the start sequence for this plane is 4, 3, 2, 1. Food service will be en cruise, Shane. Jackson ground, Northwest 676, request push and start. Gate 5.
Northwest 676, Jackson ground, pushback and engine start approved. Face north.
Pushback, engine start approved, face north, Northwest 676. Coffee's already made, that is correct. You have to have the flight attendant bring us up some. It's pretty cool. You can also brew hot water for those that do enjoy tea. All right, so we're approved for pushback and engine start. I'm going to face north.
Due to icing conditions, please stand by for engine start until push is completed and brakes are set.
We haven't had any inclement weather, so I don't anticipate any ice.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
So while they're getting hooked up,
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
so we don't have to keep this panel up because there's actually a cabin call button that you can use to release the crew, seats for departure, takeoff, and landing, so on and so forth. So we can actually get our charts in, and we're going to use en route charts. I like the night mode for all. Just zoom in. This actually can go in. Skip that part. I gotta work on this flow that I have. So we want nose left, tail right.
Release parking brakes.
Parking brakes released. Oh, we also need to release the chocks.
Commencing push. Due to icing conditions, please stand by until push is completed and brakes are set.
We will stand by for engine start. understand. I don't know yet why you can't start. You have to wait to start the engines in icing conditions. I wonder if it's a danger thing, that if there's ice on the fan blades, that it would when they say start spinning, it would turn them all up, or throw ice shards out. I don't know. That'd be a good one to look up. That jet, those jets right there are way too big for Jackson Hole, Wyoming. That looks like a 777 right there.
Set parking brakes.
So fire up the engines. We go with engine 4. It's cranked up. Sound to it. Alright, so good start on engine 4. We'll start engine 3. See what that. Start on engine 3. Let's see if we can get cabin view for this one. My voice isn't echoing, is it? Sam, thank you. All right. Are you guys hearing that echo from GSX? No idea what that is. Well, like I said, my sounds got all screwed up, so. So the original Whisper Jet, the cabin engine sounds were really quiet. Hence why I got the nickname Whisper Jet. Alright, so engine 3, good start. Then we'll go to engine 1, and we're just going to do that from the cockpit. Just to demonstrate. So what you want to do is you're going to wait for N2 to rise above 10, introduce fuel, and to do the click spots for this. So these are back in the fuel cutoff position, and the click spots are these switches on the back. I have keybound for set fuel valve, and that is what fires these up, because the click spots aren't the greatest. And it just for a quick tip, it would be easier to set the keybind. Alright, so that's good. 4 good engine starts. So after engine start selector off, Start Master can come off. Hang on a second, so I didn't skip the part. Okay. Start Master can come off. Gen 1 can come on, Gen 2 can come on. APU Gen can come off. APU Air and packs 1 and 2 could come on. Actually, you know what? We're supposed to keep that on. So we're going to keep the APU Gen on so that for takeoff we have the pull thing. We're going to do a packs on takeoff. The engine bleed air does not come on until after takeoff in this plane. There is absolutely nothing wrong with using your keyboard. When I first started flight simming, that's all I had was a keyboard. And the whole current setup is, I hate to admit it as well, it's very expensive. And, you know, if it wasn't for, you know, being blessed, some help of, you know, the supporters to the channel, I wouldn't have the setup I have either. So, alright, so brake fans can go to auto. We're going to put the engine hydraulic pump on. See that pressurize. AC pump can go to auto. PTU can come on. And then engine 3 hydraulic pump can come on, and that is all pressurized. We don't need the DC pump with the engines running. DC pump is used to pressurize the brake system prior to engine start. So what's my setup? So I have the Honeycomb Alpha Bravo. I have the Turtle Beach universal rudder pedals for my rudder pedals. I do have the Turtle Beach flight deck HOTUS and throttle system as well for different configurations. I have the WindWing FCU. And yeah, and that's pretty much it. And then everything else is my setup for streaming. And my computer, I can do this. forget the command. Oh, hang on one second. Let's get off the ground, and then I will look that up for the command for my computer setup. Someone says, I've never flight simmed, and I'm trying to find out what I need besides money. All you need to start in flight simming is a computer, really. Microsoft Flight Simulator also is Xbox. I'm not an expert in the Xbox version because I don't have an Xbox. But it is, because it's Xbox, you can simply use an Xbox controller. But for just a little more immersion, you can pick up a nice flight stick for under $100. And it's HP 330, Windows 10, and flight gear is free. Yeah, and that's flight simming. I mean, any way to get into the hobby. But for Samuel, you don't need the big setup. You can start off small, and as you get more, you'll find that more and more get into it. You can just piece your system together. I mean, I started off with a Logitech flight stick. I can't even remember what the name is. It's the X3D Logitech flight stick is what I started off with in the more modern configurations. And from there I went to a Thrustmaster TCA Airbus setup for Microsoft Flight Simulator. And then I just started building from there. Never went out and got it all at once. I'm not too sure what kind of setup you need computer-wise for 2024 that's going to work good. I'm kind of a mid-range one. I have an i9-12 1200K computer with a RTX 3070, so I don't even have a 4th gen graphics card yet. And as you can see, you know, running the 3070 on the i9, I mean, this sim looks beautiful. Everyone knows Airbus blows. Yeah. Well, the Avro RJ had a retrofit for Boeing products. So this is a 737 MCP, and this is the UNS 1, I think. All right, so let's start burning fuel here on the ground. Let's burn some fuel in the air. How about that? Jackson Ground, Northwest 676. We're ready to taxi.
Northwest 676, runway 19er taxi via Alpha 4.
Runway 19er via Alpha 4, Northwest 676. One thing I did notice, because I'm studying to be an ATC controller for Vatsim, one thing I did notice that Say Intentions doesn't use the proper phraseology for taxi instructions.
Delta 307 Heavy.
It's supposed to be
Jackson, Atlanta.
It's supposed to be runway then taxi vias. Say Intentions goes taxi to runway, and that's not the proper phraseology. And my only real complaint was
departure frequency 3325, squawk 0133.
Taxi lights can come on, So my only real complaint was that when I went to say intentions and said, hey, you know, your phraseology's off, they said, oh, there's a lot of variations and that we're going to, we're probably not going to fix it. And
Delta
I was like,
307
well,
Heavy. Read back correct. Call me back when ready for pushback or engine start.
there really isn't a lot of variations.
Delta 307 Heavy.
That's ICAO, and your controllers really should be using the proper terminology.
Delta 307 Heavy, Jackson ground. Pushback and engine start.
All right,
approved.
so
Face north.
Pushback approved. Face north. Delta 307 Heavy.
and Delta's going to push right into us. There is no heavy birds coming into Jackson Hole, guys. But at least Beyond ATC has the phraseology right. Okay, you guys can stop anytime. But they're going to back right into us, right?
Delta 307 Heavy, taxi for departure.
Delta 307 Heavy, runway 19er taxi via Alpha, Alpha 4.
Great. So we got this
Alpha 4, Delta 307 Heavy.
this Airbus A380 or A330 in front of us that's going to take off, and now we're going to have to wait for wake turbulence. So I would think wake turbulence is actually simulated. I have no idea how this plane's going to take off on this little runway. Just double check. Yeah, 6,300 feet. That is not happening for that plane. Alright, you were given permission to taxi. Are you going to taxi? I'm going to give it a second just in case it locked up. I meant to ask you, Samuel, if you know you flew on the plane. Did the cabin look familiar? I was curious on how they modeled the cabin because I've never actually been on one.
Delta 307 Heavy, hold position for traffic.
Hold position, Delta 307 Heavy.
That's right, hold position for me. Not real life, but I'm not going to sit there and wait for AI to figure out that they need to taxi. Although I was kind of interested in seeing how they were going to get that big one off the thing, but now we don't have to worry about wake turbulence.
Delta 307 Heavy, continue taxi.
Continue taxi, Delta 307 Heavy.
That's not what I want. I want charts. There we go. I said, yes, the seats look the same, but the lighting was a little different. I've flown an RJ since the 90s. I don't think a lot of people haven't flown in an RJ since the 90s. But that's pretty cool that they got the cabin model pretty good. I know that Just Flight had access to a real RJ, so... And those guys are really good at modeling. What is our yellow caution light? Just to double check. Oh yeah, ice. We turn on our heats. There we go. Alright, throw flaps 18 for takeoff. And TARA.
Northwest 676, contact Jackson Tower 118.075.
No, 118.075, Northwest 676. Alright, so we're going to let our first officer take it. Yeah, it does have a very interesting wing configuration. It's very military-like, actually, from what from my opinion. All right, parking brakes on. We'll request departure.
Northwest 676, ready to go. Runway 19er. Runway 19er, cleared for takeoff. Northwest 676.
I do know that a lot of militaries actually use the RJ in a military configuration. Alright, so landing lights can come on. Clear for takeoff, strobe lights can come on. And we'll do wing and logo. It is cold enough for icing conditions, so I'm going to leave the engine anti-ice on for takeoff. We'll, where it doesn't look like there's going to be any moisture, so we'll turn them off when we set up.
Delta 307 Heavy, holding short, runway 19er.
Oh, oversteer.
Delta Tree 07 Heavy, hold short of 19er, departing traffic.
Affirmative, hold short of 19er, Delta 307 Heavy.
There's line up. Alright. So we'll do a toga. Make sure we're configured up here. It's good. Packs on toga takeoff. Set. We're going to go direct. And LNAV. All right, here we go. Spool them up. Toga.
Check thrust.
Airspeed alive.
Thrust set.
Delta Tree 07 Heavy, runway 19er, line up and wait.
Runway 19er, line up and wait.
80
Delta
knots.
307 Heavy.
Go. Rotate.
Rotate.
Positive climb.
Gear up.
Gear up select.
Delta Tree 07 Heavy, Jackson Tower, wind 185 and 6, runway 19er, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 19er, cleared for takeoff. Delta 307 Heavy.
Northwest 676, contact Salt Lake Center 133.25.
Contact Salt Lake Center 133.25, Northwest 676. See you.
I was just going to hand fly for a little while.
Northwest 676, 7,300.
Northwest 676, Salt Lake Center, good day, radar contact. Continue climb to 15,15,000, altimeter 2981.
Continue climb to 15,15,000, altimeter 2981, Northwest 676.
Salt Lake Center, Delta 307 Heavy, 6,900.
So this hand flies very well.
307 Heavy, Salt Lake Center, good day, radar contact, climb,
So
maintain
go
flight
high
level
on the...
190.
Get some acceleration going.
Speed
Climb,
check.
maintain flight level
Flaps
190,
0.
Delta 307 Heavy.
Climb power. So coming in on the flight directors. Alright, we're above 3,000 above the ground, so we'll bug up to 210 and accelerate out. Passenger flaps up speed.
Traffic. Traffic.
Above 10,000, lights could come off. Engine bleeds could come on. APU air off. And we'll shut down the APU. And we will accelerate to 250.
Clear of conflict.
Bring the nose down a little bit. Accelerate out 250.
Northwest 676, climb and maintain flight level 310.
Climb and maintain flight level 310, Northwest 676.
Yeah, 310. So, just to say how easy this is to fly, I am flying this with 2 fingers on the controls. Love flying in the Rockies in this simulator. This is... I mean, I could hand fly this plane all the way there, but we're not gonna. Set, level change, and we'll bug up to max speed climb out. Turn off the wing and logo. Alright. We are climbing, we're LNAVing. Yeah, we don't need the engine anti-ice. I almost wanted to let that A330 fly in front of us, but I wanted to see it take off on a 6,000 foot runway. Very cool. I'm telling you guys, this plane is lots of fun. I mean, there's a lot of good planes in the simulator now, but this one, that's all I ever want to do is fly this one. I wish the virtual airlines I belong to actually flew it still. Turn our way to Denver. And we'll release the crew.
Northwest 676, contact Salt Lake Center 128.35.
And we'll turn the seatbelts on.
Contact Salt Lake Center 128.35 Northwest 676. Salt Lake Center, Northwest 676, flight level 187.
Northwest 676, Salt Lake Center, roger.
So there's some cool things I learned about today. This screw right here is a little cheat code to sync the heading bug.
Salt Lake Center, Delta 307
And this screw right here is the toga cheat.
Delta 307 Heavy, Salt Lake
For
Center,
those
roger.
watching that wanted to know, they're the little cheat bugs. Although I have the toga bound to my throttle, which by the way I'm using the Blackbird Controls 737 throttles because I tried putting the Honeycomb Bravo default throttles to get a 4-engine configuration, and I just couldn't. They're too small for my hand. It wasn't comfortable. So I'm doing the two throttle setup using Blackbird Controls because they're actual size controls for the 737, so they have a good hand feel. So I just have two controls set up with a 4-engine, so left and right is running both engines left and right. So what is toga? Toga is takeoff and go around. It is commanding the plane to fly at its max set throttle for takeoff and go around procedures. So we had it set at 97%, and when I hit that button, the auto throttle in the FADAC system, so this has a FADAC just like an Airbus, commanded the throttles to go to their maximum setting. If we were coming in and we balked the landing that we had to go around, all I have to do is just hit that button, that toga button, and it'll command go around, which is then the max takeoff thrust, to convert the energy from the plane coming in a downward descent into a climb. So let me get caught up here on chat. So it looks like, let's see.
SkyWest 4731.
If you're using caps, Shane, it won't let you.
Contact Salt Lake Center 118.05, SkyWest 4731.
So that's pretty much about the simplest explanation for toga. So all modern airlines use the term takeoff, go around, or toga. Airbus, Boeing. On many model, yes, there are quite a few that have a max, and that's really only for emergencies. And a lot of engines can't handle toga power for anything longer than 5 minutes, or it'll burn the engine out, and you'll have a flame out. Alright, so we all look good up here. Climbing out. So let's take a look at the cabin in flight. Yes, Embraer is one that has that. The ATR also has a max beyond toga.
Alaska 454, contact Salt Lake Center 124.35.
See, this is cool. They modeled the security window. Just make sure that no one's in front of the door. It'd be cool if there was passengers. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're just cruising here. I'm gonna get myself a coffee. So what's actually cool about this, I want to show you guys that I found, is the potable water. So say we're doing a bunch of different turns and we're brewing coffee and so on and so forth. Well, actually, this gauge actually works, so that it'll show that we're using the water up. I'll drink coffee, so we'll just do some hot water, get some tea, not chamomile tea, because we don't want to go to sleep. Yeah, most engines couldn't handle power on the thing. So a lot of times, like especially in World War II aircraft, they would have a water injection system that would actually inject water into the engine cylinders to increase the pressure and also to keep them cool so that they could last a little longer, but it would give them a horsepower boost. And that's generally what emergency warp power was. So I'm curious, I wonder what... I'll call. Yeah, we don't want that. Good. That's the emergency call. Emergency interconnect. And we don't want that. We're good. That's pretty cool. So that turn on the emergency lights. Do the seat lights work? Nope. Although I do have auto lights on, so that might be the issue with that. That's cool. Must have been cool, Samuel, to be a passenger on this plane. Samuel, does the toilet work? No, the toilet is not modeled. Not like the, what is it, the A380 has a model toilet, I think? No, the toilet door, the bathroom doors don't open up. Wait, no, it wasn't the A380 that had the model toilet. The, oh, we were just flying it. Yes, and this plane's got some big flaps. Which plane had the toilet? There was so everyone was going back and they wanted to see. Oh, the iFly 737 Max has the modeled cabin bathroom with a flushable toilet. So 5 total hours of war emergency settings required to tear down engine inspection. Yep. Engines do not like to be run at their max settings for very long. But you know, if you're out running a if you needed to outrun a airplane trying to gun you down, it would definitely be a nice thing to have. Wasn't there a plane in real life where the emergency exit was in the tail cone? I always wanted to use that exit. So there was a couple of planes actually that had the had stairs in the tail cone. One of them was the 727, which is actually in this simulator, and they have modeled it. It's called the. There's a story of a hijacker that actually used the rear stairs to jump out of the plane after he took everybody's money. Oh, the DB Cooper stairs. That's what they call it, the DB Cooper stairs. The DC-9 had that as well, and I remember going up those stairs on a DC-9. It was pretty cool.
Salt Lake Center.
It was a DC-9.
3828. Good afternoon.
But there's a couple of them that have the rear stair system. I know the one in the simulator is the 727. There's a couple videos on my channel of me flying the 727, including I did a KICNE approach with it.
Salt Lake Center, SkyWest 148 Echo, climbing by a rugged tree, flight level 330.
SkyWest 148 Echo, Salt Lake Center, roger.
Alright, so let's see where we're at here. Charts. Now we don't have the Navi graph. Okay, I didn't know that. So I'd like to see where alright, so we're coming down, should be passing TOFUU, so we should be coming into the flat 1 arrival. Yeah, so TOFUU's the start of that transition. Okay, so let's check out our RNAV. Flat 1 arrival. We can do that here so you guys can see what I'm looking at. Oh, it should be star. Flat 1. Flat 4. Oh, there we are. Alright, flat 4. So we're going to be coming out TOFUU. We've got to be above 2500 at Hippie, between or below 27, or flight level 270 at Folsom. So our first crossing restriction is Alright, so we have to be at 13,000 at Kitchener. So there's no VNAV in this plane. So let's see here. We can do a top of descent calculator. So we've got ground speed. So our target altitude we want to make 13,000. Let's do a little shallower so we can actually set that to our desired V speed at, let's try 1800. That'd be a nice shallow, so it's a nice 2.5 degree descent and 68 miles. So we can go here. They have our calculated top of descent, so 63 miles from doing a little math, so 63 miles from Kitchener, so that's 714. Let's round up, so we got 7, 8, 15. So somewhere around Folsom should be our top of descent. Just do a quick reference. Yeah, see, it's got our top of descent pretty close. So we're gonna start down a little early and then make some adjustments. But we're all pretty good with our arrival, so let's look at our approach. Go back to charts. We're going to look at our approaches. We're going to be coming in on 16 left.
Northwest 676, Salt Lake Center, expect flat I-4, runway 16 left.
So Shay, yeah, we'll talk about that in 1 second. So there's a very unique characteristic of this, of the Avro, that's that makes it perfect for
676, Salt Lake Center, expect flat I-4, runway 16 left.
accept that clearance.
Expect flat I-4, runway 16 left, northwest 676.
Alright, so we're coming in on Kitchener. Should be coming in, they'll bring us in on Jappy, SOAR, and we'll intercept Jeeper at 10,000. So, nice shallow descent from Kitchener in. I know I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. So it should be a nice, easy descent. So what we need to look at now is we need a 111.1 programmed into the nav.
Northwest 676, contact Salt Lake Center 133.25.
Contact Salt Lake Center 133.25, Northwest 676.
And we have a course
Salt
of
Lake Center, Northwest 676. Good afternoon. Flight level 310.
73.
Northwest 676, Salt Lake Center, roger.
So we're set up for our approach. So,
Northwest 676, contact Denver Center 132.1.
Characteristics
Contact Denver Center
of
132.1, Northwest 676.
so this plane had both
Northwest 676.
spoilers,
310.
had air spoilers, lift spoilers up here, so it could bring it down pretty quick. But what it has is an air brake that allowed, I'm not going to go full, but you could throw that out and you could descend at a 5-degree angle, which made it great for places like Schiphol, London City, with these steep approaches.
FedEx 397 Heavy, Denver Center, roger.
But all those odd approaches were actually a little uncomfortable on the passengers. So we at Northwest Airlines, passenger comfort is our priority. So we're going to do a nice shallow approach.
Denver Center, all Nippon 111 Heavy, flight level 180. All Nippon 111 Heavy, Denver Center, roger.
And those air brakes are actually what I'm trying to learn for our for landing, because you have to use them to land this plane. Kind of bring it in because it's kind of slick. Doesn't want to come out of the sky. It's got large wings, large flaps, which create a tremendous amount of lift. So it's a combination of killing the throttle and then deploying those speed brakes to slow the plane down into the landing. And I mean, I've had some light touchdowns, but it also wants to bounce. So, but that's only going to come with practice. Flight recorder up, so we'll be coming in soon. We're going pretty good. I think I do miss from flying the more modern airliners is the wind direction. Not seen any wind direction indicator on here, so you got to do the old school look at the ATIS kind of thing. I can't believe that this plane has an iPad in it. Well, I know if I was flying it in this day and age, I would definitely put an iPad in here. Most planes have iPads in it. There is a way to disappear the iPad. I can't. Just don't remember how. It's a click spot. I know it's in the manual, but. So I do apologize, but there is a way to make you can have the iPad disappear. Yeah, so that's the bigger one, the Avro RJ100. And I did pick the RJ100 to fly because I needed a US livery, and I couldn't find any US liveries.
Increase speed to 280 knots.
Increase speed to 280 knots. Northwest 676.
Unable. Yeah, so in beyond ATC fashion, I'm going to ignore that one. Technically, flying at that speed, or just... I mean, I guess it's... Yeah. Mach 6.7 is good. I mean, we can bump it up to 670. Yeah, there is a click spot to hide that. I don't want to start clicking. I don't think the window's open.
Delta 8921 Heavy, descending via Nordic 6, flight level 300. Delta 8921 Heavy, Denver Center, roger.
So that's the map table. Yeah, I'll find the click spot. I'll post it on my Discord. Yeah, this is going to be a nice sunset flight into Denver. What the heck did that plane do?
Delta 2421, contact Denver Center 134.5.
Contact Denver Center 134.5, Delta 2421.
It's an airline. Oh, it's glitching. That's weird. Aliens. It's an alien. We'll report a UFO. So, let's see, let's put the range out. That, it's TCAS range, 20 miles. So we're all set up for the approach. So I'm just turning on the DMEs. So we are looking good. Starting to get sunset type, so a little mood lighting.
Delta 8921 Heavy, contact Salt Lake Center 128.35.
Contact Salt Lake Center 128.35, Delta 8921 Heavy. Have a good afternoon.
Northwest 676, descend via flat I-4 arrival, Denver landing runway 16 left, altimeter 29er 6.
Descend via flat I-4 arrival. Denver landing runway 16 left, altimeter 29er 6, Northwest 676.
Northwest 676, contact Denver Center 126.5.
Contact Denver Center 126.5, Northwest 676. Take care.
Traffic, traffic.
Denver Center, Northwest 676. Good afternoon. Descending via flat I-4, flight level 310.
Alright, so we're gonna turn her down to 13,000.
Northwest 676, Denver Center, roger.
Start a nice shallow descent. That's good. Cabin's going to start descending.
Delta 2421, contact Denver Center 125.9er, take care.
Contact Denver Center 125.9er, Delta 2421. Take care.
Alright, starting our descent. So we're looking at about 10 minutes to being on the ground. Seatbelt signs can come on.
Northwest 676, contact Denver Center 125.9er, have a good afternoon.
Contact Denver Center 125.9er, Northwest 676. Denver Center, Northwest 676, descending via flat I-4, flight level 282.
Northwest 676, Denver Center, roger.
Sunset landing here. That's a good shot. That's a good shot of that. Gotta love the Rocky Mountains. Alright, so should be close enough, so let's get the Denver ATIS.
05, 2.-04, altimeter 2996, landing runway 16 left, 16 right, 17 right, departing runway 08, 17 left. Advise on initial contact, you have information, Bravo.
I'm gonna get the winds.
Information, Bravo. 2336 Zulu. Wind 220 at 6. Visibility 10. Few clouds at 20,000. Temperature 05. 2.-04. Altimeter 2996.
That's not too bad.
Landing runway 16 left, 16 right, 17 right. Departing runway 08.
Denver is known for its crosswinds. Oh, a 6-knot crosswind at that angle. Probably looking at an actual crosswind component of less than 5, less than 3, 6 knots. That's not too bad. Actually shallow up our descent a little bit. Now we can go back to 280. Air brakes. So I'm using the bottom of descent, the banana, they call it, to calculate. So we have to cross Tichenor at 13. And so we'll come in we'll hit 13 just before Tichenor. Bug up the landing. So we're looking at a VAP speed of 117 based on our weight. With a minimum clean speed of 178. So that'll be our flap speed.
FedEx 3778 Heavy, contact Denver Center 1 Tree 2.1.
Contact Denver Center 1 Tree 2.1, FedEx 3778 Heavy. Have a good afternoon.
So we'll set up for our approach. Below 18,000, so I'll turn on our wing lights. The lighting on this thing's pretty good model.
Northwest 676, contact Denver approach 128.45.
Contact Denver approach, Northwest 676. Denver, Northwest 676, 17,500 feet with information Bravo.
Northwest 676, Denver approach. Good afternoon, altimeter 299er6. Expect the ILS runway 16 left via TSNR.
Tishnar.
Altimeter 299er6. Expect the ILS runway 16 left via Tishnar, Northwest 676.
Oh, I kind of wasn't off.
Skywest 5497, leave Clough heading 025. Expect radar vectors for visual approach runway 16 right.
Leave Clough heading 025. Expect radar vectors for visual approach runway 16 right, Skywest 5497.
Denver, FedEx 529 Heavy. Good afternoon, flight level 199er with information Bravo. FedEx 529 Heavy, Denver approach. Good afternoon, altimeter 299er6. Expect the visual approach runway 17 right.
So with that air brake out there, we could slow up pretty quick.
17 right. FedEx 529 Heavy. Skywest 5497, turn right, heading 020. Descend and maintain 9,000. Altimeter 299er6 vectors for the approach.
So with this plane, we can actually keep our speed up and not have to worry about not being able to slow.
Altimeter 299er6, Skywest 5497.
Which makes it way more manageable in heavy traffic.
Northwest 676, cleared direct Teshnar, cross Teshnar, at or above 1313,000, cleared ILS runway 16 left.
Cleared direct Shinar, cross to Shinar at or above 1313,000. Cleared ILS runway 16 left, Northwest 676.
So it's, according to the chart, it's not at or above, but actually at. But just to correct ATC there for a little bit. But we'll make our crossing. So remember, we need a mandatory intercept of cheaper 10,000. Slow up to 250. We're going to dial in
Denver, Delta 2421, 16,300 with information Bravo.
Delta 2421, Denver approach, altimeter 299er6. Expect the ILS runway 16 right via TSNR.
Altimeter 299er6, expect the ILS runway 16 right via Teshnar, Delta 2421.
Skywest 5497, turn right, heading 115. Intercept the 16 right localizer. Descend, maintain 7,600 feet.
Turn right, heading 115. Intercept the 16 right localizer. Descend, maintain 7,600 feet. SkyWest 5497.
SkyWest 5497, airport is at your 2 o'clock, 11
So we'll
miles.
clear the approach so we can descend at our discretion.
Field in sight, SkyWest 5497.
SkyWest 5497, cleared visual approach runway 16 right.
Cleared visual approach 16 right, SkyWest 5497.
ILS is alive.
SkyWest 5497, contact Denver Tower 135.3.
Contact Tower 135.3, SkyWest 5497. Have a good afternoon.
And we'll slow it up to our terminal speed to 10. Little air brake out. Denver should be out in front of us. Yep.
Delta 2421, cleared direct TS Shenar, cross T Shenar at or above 13,000 feet, cleared ILS runway 16 right.
Cleared direct to Shenar, cross to Shenar at or above 13,000 feet, cleared ILS runway 16 right, Delta 2421.
Seem high.
Denver, Commutair 4834, good afternoon, 17,300 feet with information Bravo.
Commutair 4834, Denver approach, altimeter 2996, expect the visual approach, runway 17 right.
Altimeter 2996, expect the visual approach, runway 17 right, Commutair 4834.
Northwest 676, contact Denver Tower 135.3.
Contact Tower 135.3, Northwest 676. Denver Tower, Northwest 676, ILS runway 16 left.
Why are we on the ILS runway 16 right? That's why everything's messed up.
Runway 16 left, cleared to land, Northwest 676.
Alright, we're going to sidestep. Autopilot off.
SkyWest 5497,
Speed
exit
checked,
left at Delta
flaps
5.
80.
Exit left at Delta 5, SkyWest 5497.
Speed Speed check.
Southwest
Key
1049, contact Denver departure.
Contact Denver departure, Southwest 1049. Have a good one.
Do I have no control? That's weird. Really try not to do a go around.
Sync rate. Pull up.
SkyWest 5497, monitor ground 121.85.
500.
Ground 121.85, SkyWest 5497. See you.
Keeps wanting to swing me. Go around. Alright, I don't know why it wants to swing me now. That's odd. Pause the brake, gear up.
United 710, ready for departure, runway 8.
United 710, Denver Tower, wind 220 at 6, fly heading 170, runway 8, cleared for takeoff.
Fly heading 170, runway 8, cleared for takeoff, United 710.
Alright, so we'll come around for another approach, climb up to 10,000. Certainly being odd. Perfect flight until now, and now it's like uncontrollable. Heading select.
United 710, contact Denver departure, take care.
Contact Denver departure, United 710. Have a good one.
Level change. Alright, stable again. Sorry about that. That's a little weird.
Southwest 2838, ready for departure, runway 8.
Southwest 2838, Denver Tower, wind 220 at 6, fly heading 270, runway 8 cleared for takeoff.
Fly heading 270, runway 8, cleared for takeoff, Southwest 2838.
Oh, I saved it.
Northwest 676 going around.
Northwest 676, roger. Fly the published missed approach procedure.
Yeah, we're modifying our approach.
Published missed approach procedure, Northwest 676.
Northwest
Do a
676.
little modified.
Denver departure 128.45.
Contact Denver departure 128.45, Northwest 676. Speak soon.
FedEx 529 Heavy, cleared visual approach runway 17 right. Cleared visual approach 17 right, FedEx 529 Heavy. Delta 2421, contact Denver Tower 135.3.
Contact Tower 135.3, Delta 2421.
Commutair 4834, fly present heading. Intercept the 17 right localizer. Descend and maintain 7,300 feet. Altimeter 29er 96.
Fly present heading, intercept the 17 right localizer, descend and maintain 7,300 feet. Altimeter 29er 96, Commutair 4834.
Denver, Northwest 676, 10,100 feet.
Northwest 676, welcome back.
So I think I had.
Continue.
I think I know how this screwed up. I think I had programmed in the FMS. I had 16 right in, and we were going
Frontier
at
flight
16 left.
2349, contact Denver Center 119.85.
Contact Denver Center 119.85, Frontier flight 2349.
Southwest 2838, Denver departure, radar contact, clear direct eyeball, resume the course 6. Clear direct Apollo, resume the course 6, Southwest 2838. FedEx 529 Heavy, contact Denver Tower 135.3. Contact Tower 135.3, FedEx.
Alright guys, let's try this again.
Denver SkyWest 5346, flight level 191 with information Bravo.
SkyWest 5346, Denver approach, good evening, altimeter 29er 96, expect the visual approach runway 17 right.
Altimeter 29er 96, expect the visual
Lights
approach
move along.
runway 17 right, SkyWest 5346.
UPS 2808 Heavy, leave Grub heading 230, expect radar vectors for visual approach runway 17 right. Leave Grub heading 230, expect radar vectors for visual approach runway 17 right, UPS 2808 Heavy. United 710, contact Denver
More flaps out.
25.95.
Contact Denver Center 125.95, United 710.
Commutair 4834, airport is at your 11 o'clock, 14 miles. Report the field in sight.
Field in sight, Commutair 4834.
Commutair 4834, cleared visual approach, runway 17 right.
Cleared visual approach 17 right, Commutair 4834.
UPS 2808 Heavy, turn left, heading 230, vectors for the approach. Expect further clearance in about 15 miles. Turn left, heading 230, UPS 2808 Heavy.
So I think a lot of things was that the autopilot didn't disconnect, and I think that's why I was losing control.
Southwest 2791, contact Denver Center 132.5.
Contact Denver Center
Descend to 7,000.
Southwest 2791. See you.
Denver SkyWest 5511, good evening. 17,200 feet with information Bravo.
down.
Over to tower
Left's 30.
135.3, Commutair 4834, see you.
SkyWest 5511, Denver approach. Altimeter 2996, expect the visual approach, runway 17 right.
Altimeter 2996, expect the visual approach, runway 17 right, SkyWest 5511.
So that was a little spicy.
Denver, Southwest 2711, flight level 201 with information, Bravo.
Southwest 2711, Denver approach. Good evening, altimeter 2996, expect the visual approach, runway 17 right.
Altimeter 2996, expect the visual approach, runway 17 right, Southwest 2711.
UPS 2808 heavy, fly present heading, intercept the 17 right localizer, descend maintain 7,900 feet, altimeter 2996.
Fly present heading, intercept the 17 right localizer, descend maintain 7,900 feet, altimeter 2996, UPS 2808 heavy.
Denver,
Yeah, we do have the seatbelt signs on.
United 2655, Denver approach. Good evening, altimeter 2996, expect the visual approach, runway 17 right.
We just scared the crap out of the passengers.
2996, expect the visual approach, runway 17 right, United 2655.
Wow, I think we're good now.
Localizer alive.
Cabin is secured for arrival.
Flaps full. Yeah, I programmed the wrong runway. That's what happens when you make mistakes. But we are good now. Lost some fuel, so we're a little lighter. Denver approach, Northwest 676 on the ILS runway 16 left.
Northwest 676, I didn't get that.
Of course, you didn't get that. Because you're not saying thickness.
Denver, Southwest 2052, climbing via zip.
Denver Tower, Northwest 676, ILS runway 16 left.
Northwest 676, Denver Tower, wind 220 at 6, runway 16 left, cleared to land.
Runway 16 left, cleared to land, Northwest 676.
All right.
Commutair 4834, exit right at Mike 4.
Redo.
Exit right at Mike 4, Commutair 4834.
We're doing an ILS approach. It wouldn't be a live stream if things didn't screw up. It's not a very common approach anymore, Shane. But I tell you what, I will look into find an airport that has the approach, and yeah, we could do one.
Ground 121.85. Ground 121.85, Commutair 4834, see you.
yeah, so when I clicked the autopilot off, it didn't go off. That's what was causing my control problems. So we had all kinds of things going on. We are good now. Nah, we'll file an ASAP. We'll be good.
Descend, descend, descend.
Denver Tower, UPS 2808 Heavy, visual runway 17 right. UPS 2808 Heavy, Denver
Descend.
Tower, wind
Descend.
220 at 6,
Descend.
runway 17 right, clear to land. Runway 17 right, clear to land. UPS 2808 Heavy.
Yeah, hold my beer. Here we go.
Glide slope capture.
Descend, descend.
Now we're
descend.
descending. Hey Shane, what did you say that might have offended me? Don't worry. If you offend me, I will let you know. Alright, so we're good. We're set up on the approach. So this plane does not have reverse thrust.
1,000.
1,000 stable, clear to land.
$500.
500 check. Autopilot disconnect. That worked that time.
Minimums.
Minimums continue.
100.
Light slope.
50. 40.
Southwest
30,
2512, ready
20.
for departure, runway 8.
Descend.
Southwest
Descend.
2512, Denver
10.
Tower, wind 220 at 6, fly heading
Ground
260, runway 8
Spoilers,
cleared
yellow,
for takeoff.
green.
Fly heading 260, runway 8 cleared for takeoff, Southwest 2512.
And welcome to Denver.
Brake pressure checked. $60 knots.
That wasn't a bad landing. I think I got that one. So
UPS
it's 123 feet per minute.
Right at
Let's
Mike
check
4.
out the
Exit right at Mike 4, UPS 2808 Heavy.
the G-forces on the landing. But I like it, especially considering the approach. Alright, parking brake can come on. 1.1, not too bad, and I did not bounce it this time. I will take that. That was nice. All right, so a couple things that I missed. So below 10,000, you're going to want to start the APU. And the reason for that is because when we had to do the go around, we needed the full power of the engines.
UPS 2808 heavy. Southwest 2512, contact Denver departure. Have a good flight. Contact Denver departure, Southwest 2512.
So this plane can actually do
runway 16 right.
a Category 3 landing. It's rated for that, but I don't think that 16 left is a Cat 3.
Denver Tower, Air Shuttle 6150, visual runway 17 right.
I gotta look at the chart.
Air Shuttle 6150, Denver Tower, wind 220 at 6, runway 17 right.
So yeah, so it was not a Category 3 landing approved runway, so it wouldn't have worked. The glide slope doesn't offer that.
SkyWest 4801, ready to go, runway 8.
Alright, so we'll put the taxi lights on.
Denver Tower, wind 220 at 6, runway 8, cleared for takeoff. Runway 8, cleared for takeoff, SkyWest 4801.
The lights can come off and strobes. And our go around has glitched out beyond ATC, so we're just going to go to terminal. I'm not going to shut down because it kind of messes up the replay. I'll stop the recorder. And we'll head over to, we'll self-direct ourselves to a turbo. So we could do Golf, Bravo, November. That looks good. All right. So yes, so I was saying is the reason you want the APU on is to make sure that you have full power for that go around. That's why also that go around was a little wonky, because I didn't have full takeoff power. When I commanded Toga, it should have gave me way more juice than it had. But we made it, guys, and not a bad landing on that recovery. So, like I said, the APU adds more from my understanding, it adds more air pressure into the engines. I don't know, that doesn't sound right, but it is one of the things. That's why we do a engine bleeds off, APU on. So what actually it was doing would be to run off the power off the APU. But I'm not going to pretend that I know exactly why you need to do that. Because I am not a real RJ pilot. Denver is a huge airport. Actually, we're going to cut over on Charlie November. Grab the first available gate there. I am not a pilot in real life. I did take flight lessons when I was younger, but I had gotten diabetes and I couldn't get my medical, so I couldn't continue. And now that the United States has lifted their requirements, as long as you're stable diabetic, I'm having trouble finding a flight school that would be willing to help me through the red tape. So I'm kind of in a holding pattern in the real world flight. But I do have 25 hours in a Cessna 172. But no, I am not a real world pilot. But boy, do I wish I was. But I am content right now with Flight Simulator and sharing this with you guys. I am too old to pursue those dreams, Shane. Too old. Alright guys, welcome to Denver International Airport. So let's check out that landing. So this was our initial approach. You can see I still had the autopilot on. So it wanted to keep trying to go back to the track because I had the wrong runway in. I had this runway into the FMC. I need 1,500 hours of flight time to take for my ATP. So, yeah, so that was the problem. The autopilot was on. Alright. But this isn't going to be the landing. This is going to be the landing we're going to look at. And let's make it a little brighter out. Get a good look at it. The barn door flaps. So a type rating for the RJ100 would not be a obtainable goal due to the fact that there are no RJs left running in the United States. I would have to buy one and then be John Travolta rich to get that. Just a little brighter. Does. He has a 707. It's a famous picture of his Florida home with the 707 parked out front. So, faulty approach turned into a beautiful landing. A little off center line though, looks like. Really floated in. We floated it in. Good. Butter. Definitely butter. Oh, they were out. A lot of air brakes on this thing. Alright guys, well thanks for watching the stream. Let's run that back. Taking the RJ85 out for a spin. Just released, it's on Just Flight's website for $69.99. And if you can get it, it's a lot of fun. It'll keep you on your toes, but it also has as long as you don't stream it. Just kidding. If you are new to my channel, like to see more like to get notification of more content that I'm doing, please subscribe. Give a like to this video on your way out, and yeah. So next week, 2024 drops. I'm going to be at it day one. I pre-ordered the aviation pack, so all the planes are available. If you go on my channel, I have a poll out. Pick the first plane you'd like to see me fly on the channel. Also, if it's not listed, you can put in the comments section, and we're going to take a look at that. So it should be a lot of fun. So guys, thanks for watching. Be safe. This is Virtual Flight Diaries. My name is John. On to the next one. See ya.